In the heart of Nigeria lies the state with the largest landmass that is bountifully blessed with agricultural resources. Welcome to Niger State. The state also possesses hard-to-reach communities with thousands of zero-dose children. These are children who have never received a single vaccine, with the potential to suffer from disease outbreaks due to distance from difficult terrains to the healthcare facilities. Sydani Group, with funding from the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, in partnership with Niger State government through its State Ministry of Primary Healthcare and State Ministry for Secondary and Tertiary Health, is eradicating the incidence of zero-dose children through the initiative developed called Strengthening Routine Immunization in Consequential Areas of Niger State, STRICAN. Abubakar Usman Bantu, the State Immunization Officer, highlighted one-year landmark achieved in immunization coverage since partnership with Sydani in vaccinating over 19,000 missed children.
Niger, as a state, we are blessed with a very vast landmarks with a lot of hard-to-reach and scattered settlements. Then, added to this, it's also becoming somehow difficult for our people, especially those that are hard-to-reach communities and scattered settlements, to access healthcare facility, especially having their children vaccinated against vaccine preventable diseases. So, and that also account for us to have a high number of children that we are not having access to immunization, which we tag as zero-dose children.
The real heroes of the STRICAN teams share their success stories, whose support and commitment in selected local government, namely Kacha, Rafi, Moriga, Bosso, Mokwa, Rijau, Kwantagora, Borgu, Shiroro, and Wushishi have made positive impacts, as asserted by Rose Ocheme, the officer in charge of Metumbi Primary Healthcare, and Musbahu Garba, the local immunization officer, LIO of Bosso local governments.
Before the Sydani intervention, there's a big gap between the RI coverage, because those that are living in hard-to-reach area, they hardly find their way to the facility because, one, they complain of transportation. Some of them are not mobile, they have to trek down from their place to the facility. But when Sydani intervened, honestly, there is a rural area in Butu. There's a village, they used to call that village Butu, but there's another village inside there. They don't come for RI. All the children there are being vaccinated.
Bosso is one of the best performing LGA that benefited from Sydani program. Before the coming of Sydani, our immunization coverage was at 78%. Then the coming of Sydani, we were able to achieve up to 97% in Bosso local government, which some of the unimmunized children were tracked through the team and they were immunized. And also had to reach settlement which were not reached, were able to reach them.
Some of the caregivers during the house-to-house immunization coverage in Bosso metropolis, mothers of baby Blessing, twins and baby Hajara, were feeling satisfied and confident in the life-saving vaccines brought to their doorsteps, which have improved their children's health and saving them from the burden of transportation costs with long distance to healthcare facilities.
To protect my child from contracting viral childhood sickness.
Thank you, Sydani, Niger State Primary Healthcare Center. Thank you so much for coming house to house for our babies.
This initiative by Sydani has eased my suffering from handling two babies. I don't have to walk long distance.
The outreach teams, which cover communities spanning 8 kilometers, uses Sydani's digital innovation tool called Micro-Coverage Tracking Tool (MCTT) to identify the locations of zero-dose children and digitally record their immunization data. The recorder, Amina Jagaba, during the vaccination outreach exercise in Boso settlements, demonstrated the efficient use of the app.
Caregiver bring the child to immunization. I make sure I collected the card to put in my micro coverage tracking tool to make sure I send it to Sydani to get the number of the missed children target.
Actually, before we don't used to get our targets in the health facility, but when Sydani come and also we are coming out through their settlements, we used to get our target that we need on immunization.
One of the community health influencers, promoters and service agents, CHIPS, Saratu Yakubu, know how best she raised awareness and win the trust of caregivers and communities. These community-based health workers encourage families to bring out their children by linking them with the logistics put in place by Sydani vaccination teams.
The caregivers are familiar with me. With the stipends from Sydani, I visit house to house to meet the families, religious and traditional leaders.
In Rafi local government, hope could only be delivered through ad-hoc vaccination teams supported by the Sydani Group. These brave vaccine workers, despite the challenges, cross unimaginable distances and difficult terrains to give life-saving vaccine to the zero-dose and under-immunized children, as noted by Aisha Jibrin of Tegina Ward Vaccinator and Khalid Yusuf in charge of primary healthcare, Rafi.
We face a lot of logistic challenges in reaching children that need immunization. But Sydani is changing the narrative for us now. We thank God.
Sydani, before, normally we used to have low coverage of this program, but hence the Sydani went to Niger State and really appreciate. And normally in a month, we normally get 100%. Then daily targets, we normally get 33% in this my health facility.
The result of these collaborative efforts is recorded with significant rise in immunization coverage within settlements like Pandu, Yakila, and Kongoma Central of Rafi local government area, with the satisfactory smiles seen on the faces of both Mommy Humul Khair Yahya and her child, who have now been fully immunized and protected. The district head of Sabongari in Rafi local government, Malam Haruna Mohammed Alawa, commended the intervention provided by the Sydani Group and Niger State government while explaining his crucial role in community mobilization.
I commend this noble initiative by Sydani to complement of the effort of our state government in tracking every missed children, no matter the distance. All the children in my settlement are safe now.
Makwa, a community in Niger State ravaged by flood disaster, was not left out of the story of hope. The team from the Sydani Group was on ground to support disease surveillance and the vaccination of children who might be prone to outbreaks due to the flooding.
During the flood outbreak, we support Sydani through the CRP, Community Resource Person, and we always been in an active case search of all the priority diseases that always occur during the flood area.
The flood incidents with the support of Sydani Surveillance Initiative Program, we are able to prevent the occurrence of the outbreak.
With the help of Sydani we were able to know the number of zero dose in Niger State, in particular in Mokwa local government. They have been identified. We know their settlement and where they stay, because a lot of them complain they cannot access the primary health care, they cannot go there. So with the coming of Sydani, we were able to get the enumerators on board, and they were able to reach out to them, and they were being identified and they have been vaccinated.
Our journey to Rabat Ward covered about 15 kilometers to see how the vaccination team are navigating obstacles caused by the erosion of roads from the flooding waterway where the famous River Niger flows, all in a bid to reach every zero-dose child. Usman, the cluster supervisor of Mokwa, believes that crossing difficult terrains to save the lives of children in underserved area requires continued collaboration and synergy between Niger State government and its partners, including the Sydani Initiative for International Development, as well as other development partners.
Before the inception of the Sydani to this program, we have been going to carry out our immunization activities in LGA. But due to the large community, the large population we have in Niger State and Mokwa local government, because Mokwa local government total population is over 400,000. So because of that population, we do not always meet up with our targets. But with the partnership of Niger State and Sydani help us, and we are able to track all the children. We are able to go to every nook and cranny of the community.
From the government healthcare offices in the center of Mina to the most hard-to-reach local governments in Niger State, a clear message resonates that no child is too far to be reached with essential vaccines, ensuring that every child has the right to a healthy start in life.